Welcome everyone. In this video we're going to use the Euler-Lagrange equation to derive Hamilton's equations. So first of all, let me state the Euler-Lagrange equation for you. So the Euler-Lagrange equation tells us that d by dt of dl by dq dot is equal to dl by dq. And in fact, I've proved this video in a previous video, which you can access from the cards right now and also from the descriptions part, right? And I'm not going to talk about what this equation means. I'm not going to even talk about what any of the symbols means, because I'm assuming you're well aware of what they all mean. And again, if you don't know what they mean, just, watch my previous video on this topic or just consult any textbook you like. Okay. And maybe just, just one thing I'll say. You can see that I have this underline under the letters, right? That I used to represent a vector. And I'm using it in this equation in the sense that this is true for each component. Okay? So some people do it like, some people denote the derivative like qi maybe. And that's, going to be written for each component. I will be, indexed from 1 to n, let's say. I'm just, as a shorthand, just using the vector notation. Understand that this notation is supposed to be interpreted to mean for each component, right? So now that's out of the way, we will use this to derive Hamilton's equations. So we'll get to Hamilton's equations. And I'm not going to state them. At the end of the video, we'll hopefully arrive at them. Okay. So we need to first define a Hamiltonian, right? There are multiple ways you could go about this, but the most straightforward way, I think, is defining the Hamiltonian H through a Legendre transformation, as they call it, which is maybe not as cool as it sounds, or maybe even cooler than it sounds. It is just, it's just P dot, so P dotted with Q dot minus the Lagrangian. You might be saying, what is P? You haven't defined P. I will define P. P is defined as, which I hope you know, it is dl by dq dot. And this P is called the canonical momentum. And of course, with this definition, we can also write the Euler-Lagrange equation a bit shorter, because clearly if you substitute for P, if you substitute for dl by dq dot in the Euler-Lagrange equation, and we have the time derivative of it, so we can just write it as P dot equaling dl by dq. Cool? So that's that. Now the thing is, we'll turn and there is something important to talk about. And again, this is all, general formulation of classical mechanics. I'm not really getting into the details of it, but Lagrangian is a function of generalized position, q dot, generalized velocities, and t, time. On the other hand, Hamiltonian is a function of, let's do it like q, so generalized position, or canonical position, I don't know, then p, canonical momentum, and then time, right? So with this bearing this in mind, if we turn our attention to the differential of Hamiltonian, so if I just ask you to express dh, right? And for this, you don't need to know any physics. If I just give you this line, that Hamiltonian is a function of p, q, and t, you should be able to express dh, because that's just going to be, referring to multivariable calculus, that's going to be dh by dq, right? And for each component of position, so we also dotted with dq like this. And of course, whenever we're doing a partial derivative, we need to keep things constant, right? So here, p and t would be kept constant. But I'm not going to bother writing that, because, again, we're among friends, right? We're physicists, or we're people who are interested in physics, and we know what we're talking about. So I hope you will understand that I'm keeping the other two variables constants when I differentiate with respect to the other variable, okay? That's implicit, again. That's implicit in the notation I'm using. It has to be. Otherwise you can't really do a partial derivative. You need to be keeping stuff constant, okay? So keep that in mind, please. And then that's going to be dh by dp. Again, keeping Q and T constant, dotted with dp again, plus dH by dt. We're not doing a dot product here because time doesn't have, it's not a vector. It doesn't have components. Okay, so that's just maths. That's just multivariable calculus. And now we can also use this definition for the Hamiltonian, this Lagrange transformation, to get another expression for dH. How does that work out? Well, we have dH equals. Okay, so we need to, this is just chain rule, I guess, right? So we'll first have the differential of the, first factor, let's say, plus P dot dQ dot now, minus, I'll call it dL, right? And automatically I will substitute for dL with the same sort of reasoning we did for dH one line above, because we can form dL, and I'll keep the minus up front, right? I open the parentheses, so all of this will be dL, which I'll denote in a second. So that's going to be, I said that Lagrangian was a function of Q dot and T, so that's going to be dL by dQ. Again, remember that we're keeping Q dot and T constant when I write this. That's implicit. dL by dQ dot dQ dot, and then plus dL by dt dt. Okay, so all of this is dL. Right, now if we just keep going, I need to move this away. Okay, maybe that's better. So that's, sorry guys. So that should equal, let's switch back to the white color here. Okay, right. And now some things will simplify. That's the magic of maths, right? Whenever you write stuff out, magically stuff simplify. Well, not always, but if you're doing it right. Well, let's see. So the thing is, we made this definition, right? That P was dL by dQ dot. And would you look at this? We have dL by dQ dot, which is P. But the nice thing is then, you can notice we have this term twice with a minus sign. So this and this, they simplify, leaving us with Q dot dP. I've just changed the position of them because it's a dot product. You can swap, then it doesn't matter. Then a minus sign. Don't forget the minus up front. It's going to be, what is that going to be? That's going to be, so we have the dL here, so that's going to be minus dL by dQ dotted with dQ, right? And then that's going to be minus dL by dt dt. And now we also want to realize, using the Euler-Lagrange equation. Notice this is the first time we're using the Euler-Lagrange equation. Up to this point, we have not used it. We just simplified stuff. It was just maths. Now we're using the Euler-Lagrange equation here, because notice that I've written it here. Using the Euler-Lagrange equation, that dL by dQ is P dot. So we can just substitute P dot here. Right, so we have Q dot dP minus P dot. Again, this is the step that we've used the Euler-Lagrange equation. dQ minus dL by dt dt. And now comes the nice part. We have two expressions for dH. Right? We have this, and we have this. And notice they're in the same form. They're expressed in terms of changes in dq, dp, and dt. In terms of changes in qp and t, I mean. And the nice thing is, they are decoupled, let's say, because qp and t, they're independent variables. which means that we can vary them independently. So the factors up front need to be equal, which means, if you look at the factor for, if you look at the factor for dq, on the first part we have that dh by dq is equal to minus p dot. And if you look at the factor for dp, we have that dh by dp is equal to q dot. And in fact, these two are called Hamilton's equations. So this was our goal. This was what we wanted to prove, which we were able to do. And there's also a bonus one, I guess, if you take this approach, because if you look at the factor for dt, you see that dh by dt is equal to minus dl by dt. All right? So this is, we get on the side. And I want to say one thing. Please don't confuse this guy with, so please don't confuse this partial derivative with respect to time with a total derivative. This is not dh by dt, because I've written these curly with a purpose. They are partial derivatives. Now it turns out that partial derivative of the Hamiltonian with respect to time is also equal to the total derivative of Hamiltonian with respect to time. So in fact, these two are indeed equal, but we have not proved that today. What we proved is the two equations in the box, in the blue box, that are Hamilton's equations, and we've also proved this equation, that the partial derivative of Hamiltonian with respect to time is equal to minus the partial time derivative of the Lagrangian. We've only proved those three things in the blue boxes. It turns out that the total derivative of the Hamiltonian with respect to time is also equal to its partial derivative with respect to time, but we have not proved that. Now this is your duty, this is your homework for this video if you want to do it. Please could you, prove that the partial derivative of the Hamiltonian with respect to time is equal to the total derivative of Hamiltonian with respect to time. Now if you struggle with it, write down in the comment section. I can explain you to it, I can walk you through it, or I can make a new video about it. But just the point, just to get your attention, just to point to your attention, we have not proved this. It is your homework, as I said, to prove that if you want. And it shouldn't be that hard, you will just need to, you will need to just use this bit and take the total time derivative. But I'll let you figure that out. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, found it helpful. If you have any questions, please add them in the comment section. I hope to see you in another video. Until then, take care.